Raise your hand if you have ever played a sport. Okay, now raise your hand if you have had a sports injury from playing a sport, or just, I guess, an injury in general. Okay, so for those of you who have had a sports injury, you can probably attest to the speech that I'm going to give to today. If you haven't, I hope that you still find something out of what I am going to say. In this speech, I will tell you about my injuries from running track and how they helped shape my character. So I ran track for 7.5 years, almost 8. And as you can imagine, that through time, I got a lot of injuries. And so I want to start by kind of giving you a rundown of all the injuries that I've had. I have torn tissue in my heel, such the arch of my foot. I have also torn tissue in both my ankles. I sprained one of my ankles, which had me on crutches for about 2 weeks. I injured my knee during a race, which had me out for about a week, maybe a week and a half. And then I had a really bad back injury, and I also pulled my hamstring. But, I mean, with running track, there's a lot of aches, a lot of pains, but those were the major injuries that I had. But the 2 injuries that I want to focus on is my back injury and pulling my hamstring, because those 2 injuries had the most effect on shaping my character and me as a person, shaping me. So with my back injury, it happened while I was practicing hurdles for the first time. Long story short, I went over the hurdle the wrong way, and it was on concrete, which didn't help, and I fell and I scraped up my entire back. I had a lot of cuts, a lot of bruises, a lot of scars, scrapes, and it was really bad. And my entire back had to be bandaged, and I was out for about a week and a half, and it took a while for me to be able to comfortably move my back without it hurting. And my other injury, pulling my hamstring, which was way more painful than probably any injury that I've had. It happened during the start of the race, and I did finish the race, but that probably made it worse. So that injury had me out for maybe about a month. And so those 2 injuries really taught me a lot about resilience, and it taught me a lot about patience. My back injury taught me about resilience the most because it was my first time doing hurdles. It was my first time practicing hurdles, and for a lot of people, it may have discouraged them, but it kind of just pushed me to try harder and to just try not to get injured the next time that I did it. So it taught me kind of how to get back up on a horse and to not get discouraged. And my hamstring injury taught me a lot about having patience with myself, with my body, with my sport. It just taught me a lot about being patient in life in general, because it was a long recovery process, and it happened in the beginning of spring season. And that's a really important season if you want to have a good summer season. So it just taught me that I needed to be patient and let my body heal. And it taught me how to put having more patience into my everyday life. So those 2 injuries are what impacted my character the most. And as my coach always said, you can have every injury in the world, but the only setback you will ever have is yourself. And so with your injuries, I hope that if you've had injuries, if not, that's okay too. But my injuries taught me patience, resilience, and so much more, and they definitely helped to build my character. Thank you.